This is an example of how to make an Mfile from the command history. I've already typed in a series of commands to make this plot that's shown here, and all those commands show up in my command history off to the right. If you can't see your command history, you can change that in layout. So now I'll clear the workspace, and the command history is still there. What I'm going to do now is open up a new file, plotexample1.m. It didn't exist, so I'm going to create it. And at the start, I'll just type in some comments saying what this file is going to be and who wrote it. It's good to have authorship and note that in your file. Now I'm going to select a series of commands in my command history. You don't have to select all of them, but I'm going to select a good chunk of them. This is everything associated with making the data and then plotting it. And now I'm just spacing out the commands. I'm going to add in comments and section headings next. I got rid of a few commands I didn't need. So here are the headings, and you can also add comments at the end of lines too. Everything with a % is a comment, and everything with a double % is read as a section heading. The first section has the settings I expect I might change later. It's good to have those up at the top. And now here's the X variable, and then the Y variable sections. This is where the noise is added. Here's the part where the data is plotted. This is where the data is saved to a mat file. And then after that I do a few extra steps just to illustrate clearing and loading data and then clearing the workspace again. Now we can run this by clicking the Run button. And it generates the plot, puts variables in the workspace, and also saves that new mat file, plotexample1.mat. We can run it again, and we get different results each time because there's this random number generator involved. I can close the Mfile. I can clear the workspace and close the figure. And then I can reopen it and run it again. That's a great advantage of an Mfile. I also can change the settings and look at different realizations of the same process, making different data and plotting it in the same way. Or I can make changes to the plot too, or even the file names. But here I'm just changing the settings. So a new slope and offset and a different standard deviation for the noise. And we can look at other combinations too. That's with no noise. Here's with a little more noise, and here's with a lot more noise. Now I'll change it back to the original settings. And I'll run it again. Mfiles like this are very useful because they can be used many times and shared with others so that they can modify it and use it for their own purposes.